Can't help but love Kamala Harris's fashion sense? Wish you could dress like a vice president too? Well, bad news, because those outfits cost a truly crazy amount of money. In August 2024, Kamala Harris took the stage at the Democratic National Convention to accept the Democratic Party's presidential nomination. It was a big night for Harris, to say the least.
I will be a president who unites us around our highest aspirations.
Many of the women at the event chose to wear white, a color choice that marked solidarity with the suffragists who first fought for a woman's right to vote in the U.S. Harris veered away from this tradition, however, wearing darker tones for the event. Some suggested that Harris's choice was significant, including Vanessa Friedman of the New York Times, who wrote that her choice of outfit showed that she was trying to do something new. Harris's suit was bespoke, made by Chloé for Chloé. While the pieces were custom-made, comps for the Chloé suit, made of the woolen Grand de Poudre fabric, run high. A similar tailored jacket costs nearly $3,400, while comparable tailored pants run at around $1,400. On September 10, 2024, Harris debated Donald Trump at the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
The vice president arrived on stage in the 30 Montaigne bar jacket by Dior. That black single-breasted wool and silk blazer costs $5,000, and the coordinated Dior straight pants in black wool and silk costs $1,650. Harris completed the look with the cream-toned Lavalier striped blouse by Chloé. While this exact blouse is no longer available from the fashion house, the top sells on Farfetch for about $1,600, and similar tops from Chloé sell for around $1,700. Kamala Harris and Doug Emhoff were all glamour at the White House's Kenya State Dinner in May 2024. Harris's gown that night was a bespoke Chloé design by Kamala, who had become the creative director for the fashion brand in 2023. Kamala was all about the project too, and she proudly posted photos of the vice president on Instagram. She wrote, "Madam Vice President Kamala Harris wearing custom Chloé, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to design this dress for you. It was such an honor." Since the gown was custom-made for Harris, the exact price isn't listed online, but a similar floor-length gown and cape overlay by the brand sells for $5,250. Harris stepped out in a camel-colored suit on the first day of the 2024 Democratic National Convention. She clearly has a favorite brand, as the matching set was designed by Chloé's creative director, Kamala. Since it was bespoke, we don't have exact prices, but a similar camel suit made by Chloé runs at just below $3,400 for the tailored jacket. Similar pleated trousers from Chloé costs $1,350, while a comparable blouse from the French brand costs almost $1,500. Of course, Harris's choice of a tan suit was likely quite deliberate. Exactly 10 years earlier, President Obama had sparked outrage among Republicans for wearing a suit of the same color.
He looked like he was on his way to a party at the Hamptons.
Most likely, Harris's outfit at the DNC was a tongue-in-cheek reference to the suit that landed her colleague in so much hot water. In August 2024, Harris's presidential campaign stopped off in Michigan. Her outfit that day included wide-leg tailor pants by Chloé, which cost over $600. She also wore a simple white base and layered it with a white blazer. We don't have the exact match on the blazer, as it's likely bespoke, but a comparable make by Chloé is the tailored Rami blazer, which comes with a price tag of some $2,900. And Harris really upped her glam with her choice of jewelry. The vice president is a fan of California jeweler Irene Neuwirth, and for her stop in Michigan, she wore a double strand of South Sea and Decoya pearls with 18-karat yellow gold from the brand's Gumball collection. A single strand of pearls from the jeweler costs almost $19,000, although Harris's necklace is no doubt worth more as she wears a double strand. Harris also wore her Tiffany & Co. hardware earrings in yellow gold and pearl. These exact earrings aren't currently available, but the sterling silver version sells for $850. During a campaign trail stop in Moon Township, Pennsylvania, Harris turned out to meet fans and supporters. She opted for a black top with black trousers and topped off the look with a sharp blue blazer. It's hard to determine the blazer's exact make, but we do know Harris is partial to wearing jackets by Tahari ASL, which is a much more affordable option than many of her other outfits. The blazer she wore in Pennsylvania looks a lot like the brand's women's single-button peak lapel blazer, which sells at Macy's for $159. Harris also wore Chuck Taylor platform sneakers from Converse, which cost $75. But Harris's jewelry that day was anything but affordable. She wore an 18-karat rose gold labradorite necklace by jeweler Irene Neuwirth, coming from the brand's classic collection. This piece costs just over $15,000. Harris also wore a pair of matching 18K rose gold labradorite to write stud earrings by the same jeweler, which cost over $2,500. The blue suit Harris wore to her rally in Milwaukee would have cost her almost $4,000. This Alexander McQueen ensemble is now sold out, but a McQueen peak shoulder one-button jacket in electric blue costs some $2,600. Meanwhile, the blue pleat front trousers sell for almost $950. It's no wonder that Harris likes to wear McQueen suits, as well as they're famous for their sharp structure and slight shoulder pads, which add some dimension to the upper body. Previously, she had worn a Merlot tone single-breasted blazer and slacks during an appearance on The Drew Barrymore Show. This outfit costs the same as her blue rally suit. Harris rocked a pale blue suit in September 2024 when she attended the Congressional Hispanic Caucus Institute's 47th Annual Leadership Conference in Washington, D.C. Harris kept her look tonal, wearing a single-breasted powder blue blazer with matching pants and blouse. While the designer of this presumably bespoke suit is unknown, the closest comps to the impeccable look come with a weighty price tag. Lafayette's sold-out 148 single-breasted pick-stitch blazer looks very similar to the vice president's blazer. That piece sold for just under $1,400. Meanwhile, Lafayette's baby blue Barreau finesse crepe pants cost almost $600. Harris's sky blue blouse, which featured a lavalier necktie, is strikingly similar to a piece by Prada that sells for $2,750. While most people would say that all eyes were on President Joe Biden the day of his inauguration, some would argue that it was Vice President Kamala Harris who stole the show. Her inauguration was historical and groundbreaking, and her outfit was almost as awe-inspiring. Of course, the outfit for such an occasion had to be memorable, and Harris employed the creative expertise of New York-based designer Christopher John Rogers to create her look. As noted by The Hollywood Reporter, Harris paired her Rogers fit with an American flag pin made by designer David Yurman and a string of pearls from Wilfredo Rosado. Because the look was custom, we don't exactly know how much it cost the VP or if Rogers gifted it to her, but given that his designs run at around $3,995 on Net-a-Porter, it's safe to put Harris's inaugural day outfit in that wheelhouse. After a week in which everyone in the country was holding their breath to see who won the 2020 election, Biden and Harris took to the stage and celebrated their victory in an event that was full of speeches and some pretty impressive fireworks. Harris's outfit for such an occasion did not disappoint. As noted by Harper's Bazaar, Harris chose an ivory suit from designer Carolina Herrera, a possible nod to the women's suffrage movement. Here are the outfit details you need to know. The blazer was a tapered, double-faced design that, according to the designer, is an updated take on timeless white tailoring. How much did it set Harris back? Well, it was $2,290 for the blazer alone. Add the trousers at $990, and you have a painfully expensive outfit that few of us could afford. Kamala Harris is known for her Chuck Taylor Converse shoes. Harris has been spotted in the footwear on many occasions, but according to the Zoe report, not all of her Chucks are alike, and the ones she was spotted in during an October 2020 campaign stop had some details. On the campaign trail, Harris opted for a pair that said 2020 on them, accompanied by campaign buttons. Of course, the VP didn't leave her impressive outfit at just the shoes. She also opted for a $1,180 gingham blazer from the designer AMI Paris. As noted by Sourcing Journal, the VP wore a suit from Dolce & Gabbana while getting her second dose of the COVID-19 vaccination. The blazer cost $2,395 on its own, while the coordinated trousers to fit the blazer's microprint cost $875. It's not uncommon for politicians to campaign for one another, and that was the case when Kamala Harris went and campaigned for Senator Bill Nelson of Florida in 2018. As noted by the Miami Times, Harris and Nelson stopped at 4 different churches on their campaign tour and were met with some very enthusiastic crowds. According to Sourcing Journal, Harris busted out one of her go-to designers, Acris, and wore a wool crepe jacket and coordinated dress in a gorgeous blue. The jacket, a 3/4 sleeve look with an open front and silk lining, set the then-senator back $2,990. The gray cashmere coat that Harris opted to wear at a drive-in rally in Pennsylvania is literally to die for. Harris knew that it was going to be chilly, so she opted for the gray-toned cashmere coat from designer Max Mara, according to the New York Times. As minted by its description, the coat was hand-sewn and inspired by historic military style. It featured a flared hemline and was brought together with a belt tucked in at the back. So how much did this exquisite coat set the VP back? Hold on to your hats, $6,690.
That's a lot of money.
Due to the coronavirus pandemic, the 2020 DNC was pretty much all virtual. It was, however, still an amazing moment because the world watched as Kamala Harris spoke, addressing her bid to become the next vice president. Her outfit was stellar, but it was her necklace that really stood out. As noted on Irene Neuwirth's website, Harris opted for a pearl link necklace from the jewelry designer, something that Neuwirth is seemingly very proud of. This particular necklace in question was 18-karat gold and featured a combination of South Sea and Akoya pearls. It was 18 inches long, gorgeous, and handmade in Los Angeles. The cost? $11,480. Carolina Herrera is a go-to designer for the VP, and it's not hard to understand why. Kamala Harris has a very no-frills, let's-get-down-to-business attitude and approach to politics, and it seems like she has the same approach to fashion. So when she opted for a black bell-sleeve dress from the designer while attending Glamour Magazine's 2018 Women of the Year Awards, it didn't come as a huge shock. Harris was the honoree at the event and was introduced to the audience by the stunning Lupita Nyong'o. She spoke about truth, power, and speaking from the heart, and did so while looking very chic and glamorous. Her black dress was made in Italy, crafted out of a wool blend, and featured a sweet bell sleeve moment. The cost? $2,490. On the night when Hollywood met Washington, D.C., Kamala Harris did not disappoint. According to CBS News, Harris and Doug Emhoff attended the 2015 Vanity Fair Oscar party and really aimed to make an impression. Emhoff looked sweet as always, but Harris stole the show. She opted for a Pamela Roland gown that featured sheer paneling and sequins, and she absolutely killed the red carpet. The dress was figure-forming without being overly tight, and it was flirtatious without being boastful. Plus, it had a back center slit. So what was the cost of this look? Given that Pamela Roland gowns start at a price of $3,300 at luxury retailer Neiman Marcus, it's safe to say that Harris's Vanity Fair look is 110% out of our budget. We have to take it all the way back to 2014 for this next outfit. Kamala Harris was serving as California's Attorney General at the time, and she attended the 45th annual NAACP Image Awards in a spicy little black number. So what did Harris choose to wear for such an occasion? A sparkly sequined illusion sheath dress from designer Monique Lhuillier. Here's what you need to know about the look. The dress featured 3/4-length sleeves, a fitted bodice, and silk lining. Harris paired the look with a simple pair of black pumps and her hair down and lightly curled at the ends. So how much did it cost her? According to Neiman Marcus, at least $2,500. According to the style blog What Kamala Wore, the VP opted for her trusty Moncler puffer jacket to keep her warm on the campaign trail. While at a stop, she paired the puffer with her statement pearl necklace and earrings, and of course her famous Chuck Taylor Converse. So what's so amazing about the Moncler puffer? Well, as noted by the coat's description on Neiman Marcus's website, the puffer, quote, is the outerwear equivalent of a little black dress. It features a down fill that's intended to keep the wearer warm and cozy but not bogged down. And it actually has a figure-flattering shape, which is sometimes impossible to find in a puffer. So how much could it really be, you might ask? Moncler puffers start at $1,630. It was quite the monumental moment when Kamala Harris accepted the Democratic nomination for Vice President of the United States. Kamala Harris certainly took the opportunity to shine, and while we've already gone over her necklace, her outfit did not disappoint either. As noted by Vogue, she opted for a pantsuit from the designer Altuzarra in a gorgeous red wine color. So how much did the symbolic look cost? The suit jacket alone was $1,595, and the pants were $695. But it was a priceless moment, so what else could we have expected?